Did you hear about that article from the Washington Post that said women spend even more time cleaning when there is a man present in the house? You'd think extra body, extra help, right? But no, we still get stuck with the brunt of the work and even more than that. So what do we do? Well, there's the obvious option where we smack the men in our house upside the head, and then there's the more practical option. Try yet another cleaning routine. So I tried the Motivated Moms cleaning system for 1 month, but I didn't do it alone. No, I had my friend Robyn try it with me because why suffer cleaning alone when you can find someone to join you in your misery? So after this video, you can check out her experience as well. But let's get into this routine already because this is an interesting one. So what is the Motivated Moms cleaning system? Well, let me start off by saying that it's been around for 10 years and is currently owned by Amanda Richards. The main idea behind this system is to give you a daily checklist of chores that tell you exactly what to do each day for a clean and organized home. This is perfect for someone who doesn't really know where to start and needs clear, step-by-step instruction. Oh, this is great for a man. Here you go. So this routine consists of 2 different categories, one being the daily tasks and one being the weekly tasks. The daily tasks are always the same. They never change. You're going to be doing these chores every single day. And then there are the weekly tasks that do change. What you'll be doing this Wednesday may not be what you'll be doing next Wednesday. But before we get into the weekly, I'd first like to focus on the daily tasks. She has a list of 10 of them, and while that may seem intimidating, when you look a little closer, it's really not so bad. So let's jump into them. The first daily task is not a surprise. Make the bed. I have yet to find a cleaning routine that does not start off their routine with making the bed. And if you're wondering what these pillows are, they are pregnancy pillows. When I was pregnant last year, my husband loved this pillow so much that I had to buy him one as well because he kept stealing mine. But seriously, these are incredibly comfortable whether you are pregnant or not, okay? And the best part about them is that when you're done making your bed, it smiles back at you and sometimes talks to you.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe.
The next daily task is to empty and fill the dishwasher. And for the first time in 7 years, I actually have one. I got it last January and it's been a lifesaver because everyone knows how much I detest dishes. I've made many comments about it in the past, but unfortunately, they need to be done. And honestly, having a dishwasher has fixed my dirty dish problem. It's not a struggle anymore because I already empty the dishwasher in the morning and fill it before bed. But what about those of us who don't have a dishwasher? Because this routine, along with many other cleaning routines, don't empathize with people who don't have this luxury. And we matter too, you know, or I did. So that's the first thing I don't like, but we still have a lot more of this routine to cover. Pans, do they belong in the dishwasher? Let me know in the comments. Moving on, the next daily task is to clean the kitchen sink. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of Fly Lady's task of shining the sink. Similar, but different. And it's hard to clean a sink if it's covered in dishes, so maybe she's just implying that you need to do your dishes and empty the sink so you can clean it. Either way, this is a good task because even though it feels good to have all of my dishes done, well, if my sink is dirty with chunks of old food in it, I find that I can't take too much pride in a clean sink until I clean the food out. So I approve of this daily task. Next, she has you wiping the kitchen counters, also known as the Rocky Mountains. Some people say that as long as you're cleaning your sink, you should be cleaning your counters too. Perhaps these 2 tasks should be counted as one. But I do find that if I go even 1 day without wiping the counters, they get gross fast because I'm a sloppy cook. Dinner's ready! The next daily task is to sweep the kitchen and entryway. To be honest, I kind of just ignored the entryway part because my entryway is so tiny. But wow, have you noticed that this routine is very kitchen focused? And I like it because I don't know about you, but my kitchen always looks like 30 cats fresh on catnip just ran through with a sprinkler. And let me tell you, this room has never felt cleaner than it has felt this month. I think this kitchen deserves a dance. Hey, Robyn? Robyn? Hey, Robyn. This is my video, okay? They can visit you after. The sixth daily task is to empty the trash. And as you can see, both my trash and recyclables are overflowing, as usual. I think this is a good task for me because I avoid emptying the trash like I avoid choosing between 2 flavors of ice cream. You just gotta... And that brings us to our next daily task, which is to wipe down the bathroom sinks. And by doing this, it will encourage you to not have a whole bunch of products on it, which is good because our sinks are meant to be seen so we can keep clean. You know what I mean? And this next daily task is very simple. Change out your bathroom and kitchen towels. I think this is just a kind thing to do for the guests of your home. No one wants to dry their hands on an old used towel.
Oh my gosh, I don't either, Kate. The other day I went to my friend's house.
Get out of here, Robyn! All right, guys. I have bad news. I know you were hoping and praying that I wouldn't say it. That for once, somebody wouldn't tell us to do this. Oh, why, oh, why? But the last daily task is to do a load of laundry every day. Okay, let's be less dramatic. No, not possible. Daily laundry is the worst. But listen, okay, it's not Amanda's fault. It's Fly Lady's. Organized mom, clean mama, my mother, every cleaning expert ever. And so I just sucked it up and did laundry never. Because I actually couldn't. My dryer broke and I was very, very disappointed. Ah, rats. But I've tried daily laundry enough times to know how it works, and it's successful for a lot of strange people. It just doesn't seem to work for our family, and that's okay. So those are the daily tasks. I don't think it's so bad. Maybe it seems like a lot, but the tasks are pretty simple overall. And it's time to move on to the weekly tasks. Now, the weekly tasks aren't always going to be the same. Some Tuesdays I found that I had 3 tasks, while other Tuesdays I had up to 7. It varies week to week. So I decided to dive in a little deeper to figure out what tasks are actually being repeated. Because while the weekly tasks are different each day, there's gotta be some tasks that reoccur more frequently than others. And in my deep dive, I found that there are tasks that she alternates on a weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly basis. She even has tasks that are completed quarterly, while others may be only scheduled once a year. As you can see, it can be very random. But to make things as easy to understand as possible, I'm going to simply show you the tasks that are completed weekly and bi-weekly so that you can get an idea of where her main priorities are to see if this is a good fit for you. So let's begin with the chores that you'll be doing every Monday, starting with cleaning your toilets. And wait a minute! They say pick your battles, and this battle shall go on for all of eternity. But anyway, yes, clean the toilets every Monday. Easy as that. Oh, phew, that was a close one. All right, the next task that you'll do every Monday is to replenish the stock of toilet paper. Now that that is over with, on to the next weekly task for Monday, which is to vacuum the main traffic areas or the first floor. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I guess you might want to pick up the stuff first. So once I picked everything up, then I got a good vacuum in. And after trying a lot of cleaning routines and systems, I'm starting to think that a daily 10 to 15 minute tidy is pretty vital to having a decent looking home, especially when you have kids. And then the last weekly task for Monday is to vacuum the stairs, which isn't something I've ever made a priority before, so maybe this is a good... Robyn! So there you go. Every Monday we'll have those 4 repeating tasks, but occasionally she adds in a chore or 2 extra with something very random like cleaning off your bedroom dresser top. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. So there are 2 tasks you'll complete every Tuesday. 1, clean the bathroom mirrors, especially if you have teenage girls or a mom who just happens to wear makeup as if she was a teenager back in 2010. And then the other task you'll complete every Tuesday is cleaning out your purse and wallet. Now, there are a couple of tasks that will only be done every other Tuesday. And I think it's important to cover these too because you'll be doing them pretty frequently over the year. So the first bi-weekly Tuesday chore is to clean your bathtubs and showers. Oh my goodness, this is such an important chore that is so easy to neglect. I cannot stand cleaning my tub, but someone's gotta do it. And then the other bi-weekly task is vacuuming the second floor or the bedrooms. Another place I totally neglect. I vacuum my downstairs all the time, but upstairs? I visit the upstairs floors like I visit Aunt Sally once a year. And Aunt Sally has a lot of bunnies, dust bunnies, and they're huge, especially under the bed. So now that that is complete, let's move on to Wednesday. Okay, so this is really interesting. There aren't any repeating weekly or bi-weekly tasks for Wednesday. They are just completely at random. And this is the only day of the week that doesn't have repeating tasks on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So for example, one of my Wednesday tasks, I clean the top of the fridge. Have you ever thought to clean up there? Yeah, me neither. I kind of knew there was a mess up there, but my plan was to avoid it for all of eternity. So I guess my plan didn't work out. So you're looking at anywhere between 2 to 6 random tasks every Wednesday, with things like clean out your toaster crumbs, dust the dining room, organize the medicine cabinet. And then on Thursday, your only weekly task is to mop the kitchen. I think this is an important room to mop each week. If I go a week without mopping this room, I have to pull out the scraper. So yeah, weekly mopping is a must. The rest of the Thursday jobs are bi-weekly, one being cleaning the microwave. Oh my, do I have a bad track record with microwaves. First of all, I am the worst at cleaning them. I let them sit until my mom comes over and acts like she's having an aneurysm just from opening it. And secondly, sometimes I set them on fire. Yeah, my last microwave went up in flames after I owned it for only 9 months. Okay, fine. I set it on fire because the warranty was almost up and I didn't want to have to clean it, okay? The best way to clean your microwave is to get a new one. The next bi-weekly task is for those of us who are living in luxury. Clean the dishwasher door. They call this stainless steel, but what does that even mean? Because I feel like all of these fingerprints and smudges are stained on there. I found a tip online to use rubbing alcohol to get rid of them, and it helps a little, but it doesn't really complete the job. It looks better, but it doesn't look as good as I want it to, so if anyone has any tips for stainless steel, let me know. And the last 3 bi-weekly tasks are to dust the living room, dust the master bedroom, and wash the bathroom mats. Do you wash your bathroom mats? I don't think I've ever done that. Trying out all these cleaning routines makes me realize that I am a lot grosser than I thought I was. Oh well, let's move on to Friday. On Friday, we have a couple of weekly tasks. The first one being to do a quick tidy in each room of the house. Quick? In every room of the house? Yeah, I don't know about this one. I've got to be honest. I found it very difficult to even get to this one. It's one thing to be told to tidy up one room, like the bedroom, but to be told to tidy up every room in your house? It's too big of a task. And I know she says it's a quick tidy, but I don't think I can do a quick tidy with my level of messiness these days. It would feel like a waste of time. I need one good tidy in one room at a time. So I pretty much never got to doing this. I did try, but it was just too big of a task for me. The next weekly task is to sweep the porch. Makes sense, it's probably a room a lot of people neglect. And moving on to Friday's bi-weekly tasks. Number 1, refill the soap dispensers. I like this one because I hate when I'm trying to wash my hands and there's no soap. It's nice to be reminded of these little things that matter. And the second and third bi-weekly tasks are to change your bed sheets and your kids' bed sheets. I think this is the first time a cleaning routine hasn't told me to do this weekly. And I like that because, to be honest, I don't want to change my bed sheets weekly. It just feels like overkill to me. I think bi-weekly is plenty enough. But I know I'm gonna get all you commenters who are like,
Ew, you don't clean your bed sheets enough. You're covered in dust mites. Ew.
okay, Rebecca, but you know what? People used to sleep in piles of leaves, and there could have been a lot worse things than dust mites, like slugs. Yeah. And that completes the week. The weekends are much more relaxing. On Saturday, she has you doing anywhere from 1 to 3 tasks, with one repeating weekly task of watering your indoor plants. And if you have a black thumb and don't care much about plants, then you're off the hook. And on Sunday, she has you inventory your food and meal plan, which I love because meal planning changed my life, and I pretty much already do this on Sundays. And that is what a week looks like on the Motivated Mom's cleaning system. Okay, so what do I think of this system overall? I'll start with the pros. I like how she puts a lot of focus on the kitchen. The kitchen is my biggest weakness. It's a hard room to keep clean, and I don't know about you, but I can't cook in a messy kitchen. I will spend 25 minutes cleaning first just so I can have a clean space to cook in. But every night before I went to sleep, I made sure to do these daily tasks, and because of it, I always woke up to a nearly spotless kitchen. And it was just a good feeling and something I plan on continuing to do. Another pro? The printables. They're easy to read and check off, and they're also nice because she gives you options on the layout that you want. Do you want the printables to start your week on Monday or Sunday? Do you want it to be set up like this or like that? Do you want tasks on there that help you with self-care, or do you just want to focus on the cleaning? It's nice to have options because we're all different people with different needs. Another thing I like about her routine is that she includes small tasks such as refilling the soap, cleaning up your computer's hard drive, clipping your kids' nails, because you know if you wait too long to do that, you might be out an eyeball, and changing the furnace filters. You know how important it is for the life of your furnace to change out the filters? Yet so many of us ignore this, and she mentions it, which I think is cool. Another pro is that this routine comes with an app, so you don't have to have printables like I do. You could just as easily use her app. I just prefer the printables because I feel like it has better organization. I like how the daily and weekly tasks are separated into their own individual lists, while in the app they're just kind of all over the place. But that's just my preference, and if I really wanted to, I could reorganize it in the app too because she gives you that option. I'm just lazy. And the other thing that's cool about this routine is that she gives you the entire year all at once. So that's pretty nice. Now, it's not all banana splits and brownies, okay? There are some cons I'd like to talk about. First of all, the weekly tasks seem to be very inconsistent. Some weeks you won't have a ton of extra tasks, but then other weeks it's like task overload and you can't keep up. Therefore, it can feel overwhelming during some of the weeks. Another con is that I noticed that there isn't a task for mopping any other rooms except the kitchen and bathroom. You mop your kitchen every Thursday and you mop the bathrooms once a month, but never is any other room mentioned. I thought this was a bit strange, since most cleaning routines have you mop your main living areas at least once a week. And the last con I think is worth mentioning is that it's not free. This cleaning routine will cost you $2 a month if you want to have the app included. Otherwise, you could just pay the $2 for 1 month, print out the yearly printable, and then you're set for the year. And $2 for the entire year? That's not bad. That's less than the cost of a large soda from Burger King. But other than those 3 cons, I think this is a good cleaning routine if you're the kind of person who needs to just be told what to do. You don't know where to start. You don't know what the heck to clean. You just need someone to throw a list of chores at your head. Here you go. While this is a great cleaning system that I believe will help many people, I don't think it would work for everyone, and that's okay, because I don't believe there's a one-size-fits-all cleaning system. Well, until I create mine, of course. But no, not even then. There will never be a one-size-fits-all. Like I said before, we're all different people. But maybe Robyn has a different opinion of the system. I'm not sure. I'll link her video down in the comments so you can check out her experience with it. But hey, if this routine isn't really for you, that's okay. Check out this one instead. I think this one may just be a better fit. I have a hunch. I'll see you there.